Hey, how's it going? Nick here, and today I'm hitting shoulders. Now, ordinarily, I tend to pair shoulders with legs because those are the two muscle groups I need to work out the most. But right now, I have an injury on my right knee, a pretty bad injury actually, and so that's given me an excuse not to work out legs. But believe me, it's not as fun as it sounds. At some point, you realize you took those leg days for granted, and when your body starts to resemble this, you know something's wrong. Moving on, as I said in my last video, stretching is incredibly important, which is what I'm doing here. It's great to get the blood flowing and minimize injury. In this case, I'm doing some more dynamic stretches in the beginning of my workouts and taking my shoulders to a full range of motion. These two exercises are great, and I learned them when I injured my rotator cuff muscles. I actually did a video on how to strengthen them, so if you've experienced shoulder pain on impingement from bench pressing or any pressing movement, you might want to check out the link above. I know stretching is kind of boring and it takes time, but I'm sorry, I just can't stress it enough. Everything that I've learned that's helped me is something I want to share with you, and I want to share my mistakes as well so you can avoid them. Anyway, let's get started. So today I decided to do some Pike Push-Ups instead of military press. During the pandemic, when most of us didn't have access to the gym, I really got into calisthenics, and my goal is to work my way into a static handstand and maybe even a handstand push-up. But I quickly learned that with calisthenics, the best way to master an advanced movement is to break them down into parts and then master those parts individually and then put those parts together, kind of like a puzzle. I mean, that's how I learned the muscle up. Now, as you can see, I started off doing regular Pike Push-Ups, but then I started to increase the difficulty by using a box. This is because you want to progressively overload. Now, how do you know when to start increasing the difficulty? Well, in my case, I was able to do about 20 reps pretty easily. Now, I could simply do more reps, and that is a form of progressive overload, but by then, you're training the endurance of your muscles, which isn't a bad thing in and of itself. There's a time and place for that. I mean, I've trained myself to do 300 push-ups, which has translated well to my bench press, but for my goal right now, I'm trying to develop the strength and proper form to progress into a handstand. Right here, I'm doing face pulls, and they are a fantastic workout for your rear delts. Of course, any rear delt movement is invaluable if you want fully developed shoulders. If you feel like you're missing size on your delts, work the posterior side. I know a lot of people say that you target your rear delts on back day, but that's not enough to induce hypertrophic change. With that said, if you're doing isolation movements on your shoulders, make sure you're doing them correctly. I see a lot of people doing face pulls with really high weight but with poor form. What you want to do is grab the rope with an underhand grip and contract with your rear delts while also externally rotating your forearm as you pull the rope towards you. So in the end, it should look like you are doing a double bicep flex. Again, this probably means you'll need to lower the weight a little bit. Make sure you also pull the rope towards your face. A good reference point, in my opinion, is the nose. Now, I say that because I have a gigantic nose, so I ain't missing that mark. But I bring this point up because it'll determine how high or low the cable pulley should be relative to your face. Okay, next, I want to do some lateral raises. Now, when it comes to isolating shoulders, I really encourage using lighter weight because working the individual heads can easily lead to some type of injury or discomfort if you're not careful. And that usually occurs with heavy, uncontrolled weight or poor form, or both. So as you can see, I'm only doing 15 pounds on lat raise because that's the weight I can do right now without compromising form, and it's working great for me. I don't care that people might be thinking, look at this scrub, he can only do 15 pounds. I will say this. Working out your medial delts is crucial for having that capped look on your shoulders, but you really only need one exercise to do this. Ordinarily, I would actually use the seated lat raise machine because it's a great isolation movement, but this gym doesn't have one. And that's right, I'm advocating a machine over free weights. Sometimes a machine is preferable, maybe even necessary, but other people prefer to use dumbbells. I've used both. It doesn't really matter. Again, do what works for you and make sure you're doing the form properly. Next, I did some shrugs, or as I call them, I don't cares, because that's the expression I seem to give off when I do them. I think these are a fantastic exercise to perform for traps, and a lot of us sorely lack development in this area. You can use dumbbells or a barbell. These days, I prefer using dumbbells because I'm interested to see how strong my grip can maintain heavy weights in each hand. I do want to say this. When you perform this exercise, your traps should really be the only thing contracting. Yes, you'll be moving your arms a little bit as well as your shoulder, but you really shouldn't have additional contraction. Don't roll your neck. That's horrible in my opinion and hardly necessary. And keep yourself looking directly forward. If you have to look up toward the ceiling, odds are you are subconsciously compensating because the weight is either too heavy or your forearms are giving out. And lastly, I finished off with some dead hangs. Why? Because this is my form of static stretching and it's it's a fantastic exercise to build grip strength. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like back and biceps day are great for directly training the forearms, while shoulders indirectly trains them. I mean, if you do a dead hang properly, which is to simply relax your body and make your arms do all the work, it decompresses you completely and trains your forearm strength. And as I said, strong forearms translate so well to just about anything. Anyway, that's it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider giving it a like and subscribe. I'd be interested in knowing what your favorite go-to shoulder exercises are, so please leave them in the comments section below. I do apologize for the angle of some of these exercises. It's kind of hard filming alone, and I had no choice but to film using the mirror's reflection in some cases, so I'll try and do better next time. For next week, I actually hope to update you on the status of my knee and the MRI results. It might be worth sharing them with you and offer any advice I can give you if this is an injury that could have been easily avoided. But until then, see you next time. Take care.